Hello, happy Sunday. I'm here to talk about expectations. Boy, I can tell you, expectations, setting expectations towards people, setting expectations for myself, and setting expectations for a specific outcome has not worked very well for me. And perhaps you can relate to this. um, you know, as we have kids, we give them what we can of what we have, and with what we know during that time, which is our best. Hopefully, it is. But what they do with it, we would expect them to be able to use the good and let the bad go and have a happy life, but what they choose to do is their own. We don't have any control over that, and we can't set expectation for them to live a specific life or become a certain people, a certain person, and to serve our own best interest, and whatever that may be, right? Unconditional love and continued support and coaching and letting them know that they're loved is the most important thing we can do. It's the setting expectation could be towards yourself. I've fallen down the crack lately of setting really high expectation for myself, and I've realized that I've done that with a lot of people in my life. You know, the kids I have, with people at my work, and what I expect them to give back as as work, and then not having them do what I wanted them to do or how I wanted it to be done, was very frustrating, and I felt resentment, and I felt I was mad. I was all kinds of negative emotions. And setting expectation for myself that I wasn't able to achieve has been extremely frustrating. Extremely frustrating. Like this year, I didn't expect to have all the challenges I've experienced. And we've all have, that's life. Life is, we have challenges. But for some reason, I expected that 2019 would be a smoother year for me. You know, I hear people they seem to be having a really smooth year. And you see of others that are not having such a smooth year. And then you're realizing that you're very lucky to have the life you have compared to some people. But I expected to not have the challenges I've experienced. And I have, mostly with my farm animals, and it's all happened at the same time. I haven't been lucky much this year. And so, as I was having conversations with other people, I was realizing that I wasn't singled out. And I was just part of the normal people who have farm animals that go through loss and sickness and challenges. I just have to say that within 5 days, recently, was extremely challenging because I had many of my animals go through a lot of serious conditions all at the same time, and it really complicated life. And I had the building of my center at the same time, which they couldn't complete, and then I expected the building to be done, and then I expected my two foals to be surviving and doing well. I only have one, and had high expectation. I also had expectation to be able to commit to my calendar of events, which I've had to cancel and postpone and repostpone. I didn't have control over the weather, which canceled two of my events. And so, although I have to be fair, I was hoping the weather would be on my side like it's been for years. However, this year, no, Mother Nature decided that, you know what, my events were not going to occur. And so right now I'm feeling exhausted, and the expectation of what I wanted to achieve hasn't come through with holding my retreats and my workshops and being able to commit and do the work that I really want to do and just breathe. I haven't had a chance to do that. It's been very challenging. So, we have to be really careful on the expectations that we set out, especially towards other people and how they react and how they behave. I don't have control over other people's behaviors. And I've been very lucky in my environment. I haven't had much challenge actually lately because of that. The biggest challenge I've had is with myself and the expectation I've set for myself, and reaching and succeeding and moving forward at a certain pace. And the pace that I wanted and I had set expectation for is just not happening, because I'm having a lot of challenges on my farm. And so when having challenges on my farm, it requires all my attention, and then I can't be available or be fully present and sound to support the work that I do with the horses, and also the life coaching that I do on one-on-one. So the expectation I had was that I had set up a plan and it was going to happen. And as I look back, I feel kind of silly having fallen to the crack of believing that I had control over all that. Because since 2007, I've been transitioning. My whole life's been changing. Is it at the pace that I wanted to go at? Not. It's not fast enough. But as I look back, the journey, I was so rigid in what I've set my mind to, that whenever I did that, every time I've done that, I've had things happen that have been telling me that my way or my expectation is not the way it's going to happen. That I need to just stop, get my hands down, breathe, and then just let go of these expectations, and then just trust in what will come at me, that will give me more of a enriched journey. So who I was 2007 and what I had set as an expectation, I'm getting closer to my goal. However, the road and the journey was not at all what I expected. So, and I've had surprises that were very, very positive for me. And had I not let go of that hold of how I wanted it to be, I probably wouldn't have experienced all of these things. Well, probably life would have just put me on a halt until I let go. And then there are other things that came as experiences that I really didn't want to live. However, they've enriched me on a personal level and on a spiritual level, and has contributed to the person that I am now. And I love myself now more than yesterday, but I know tomorrow I'll love myself more than I do today. And so letting go of expectation towards people, towards ourselves, stopping the pressure we put out on people and on ourselves. There's nothing wrong with dreaming and being motivated and having passion and so on, but there's a limit where we set things that are so rigid that, and we're not moving forward anymore, and then we wonder why. And that's the thing, is that before we come to this realization, we have this internal chatter that goes on, and that, it can be fueled by old belief system, patterns of thinking, just fear coming in, and then it clouds our mind, and then we create a story, and then we get in the drama of thing, and then we get down, and then we get our emotions that take over us and so on, until we go, whoa, hold on here. I do have control over this. I do have control over how much I'm going to let this go and how much I'm going to let go, and then just trust that things will come. What's meant to come will come to me. And that it be in challenging times, well, I welcome this in a way. I have to, because I know that through my challenges, I've had the most spiritual and personal growth. And when things go well, wow, it's the party time. It's satisfaction, it's joy, it's celebration, it's all great. But it's not all or the other. You know, there's the light and the dark. And it's that we can't be completely in the light and completely in the dark. If we're in the middle, well, this is where we're best. And this is where it serves us best. We can make a choice to stay in the dark, or we can make a choice to try to stay in the light. But in staying the light, there's a lot, it's a pretend. We can't always be in the light. And then whatever we are pushing back will come at us at some point. So how can we open to being in the middle, to experience the dark and the light in a balanced way, and then learning and growing personally and spiritually? So letting go of expectation, setting expectations makes room for war, for drama, for a resentment, for anger, for a lot of negative feelings. And you don't have control. I don't have control over other people and how they react and how they behave and how they think. I only have control over me and what I choose to do, how I choose to think, how I choose to resolve things, how I choose to deal with stuff. And I can be in the darkness, or I can be in the light, or I can be in the middle where I get a little bit of both in a balanced way. And so, yeah, today is Father's Day. I have no expectation other than just be in the moment. That's all I have right now, is being in the moment. And I'm grateful for the challenges I've experienced, because I was able to just like sit back and stop all that business that I was creating and that pressure I was creating for myself that was making me feel anxiety, feeling stressed, feeling unhappy, and actually questioning what kind of life was I living. But the only person that was putting this pressure and setting expectation was myself. And there are people around us that set expectations on us. So how do you deal with that? Do you deliver? Do you go through all of this rigmarole to deliver on what they want of you, on their expectation? How do they have control over you? And why do you let people have control over you and fill in their expectation? So we need to be taking a real, be conscious. We need to be conscious about the expectation we set on ourselves, the expectation we set on other people, and how we react to expectations that are set on us by other people in our environment. And so the one and only person that should be truly happy and authentic and put in priority is ourselves. And that's not being selfish. It really is about honoring ourselves and being true to ourselves. And when we're true to ourselves, I've written about this and I talk about this often, we may disappoint people, but their expectation of us is not ours. It belongs to them. And it belongs to them. They need to deal with how you react to it. And you don't own that. The only thing you own is how you do, how you live your life. What you do that honors you, first and foremost. And sometimes we are our own worst enemy, like myself. I'm my own worst enemy in setting expectation and putting pressure on myself to be and do and achieve a certain way. So anyway, I hope it's been a blurb that's been helpful to you all. I just wanted to share about my experience and my thoughts about this. And if this resonates with you, great. Share, and connect with me if you want me to coach you. And I'm going to be spending Father's Day with my dad. I'm very, very lucky to still have my dad around. He's 87 years old, and he's super sharp. He's very active. Actually, he's going to come and help me build my deck. And I'm going to go have dinner with him, and I'm going to be grateful for the life that I have, and that I'm going to be grateful for what has happened to me lately, for me, not to me, for me, so that I could have some self-awareness and some self-reflection. And today's the full moon. The full moon is all about releasing what no longer serves us. And so how about releasing these expectations you have over people, over yourself, and expectations that people have over you? Have a great one. Happy full moon.